Welcome back. Today's a little different. I decided to trade in the gold pan for a metal detector. Don't really feel like driving north, and I haven't been out detecting in a while, so usually, let's see, this is a bit different from the videos I put up, but most prospectors are just treasure hunters. So any way they can find a treasure, they'll buy the tools to get out there and find them. So hopefully you like this. This is something different. Another hobby I have, and just another reason to get out in the woods. But I am on what they call a Class 6 road. And in New Hampshire, we have roads that the town owns, but they don't maintain them. Some are so smooth that you can get a Subaru down. Others get washed out so bad it takes a pretty advanced 4x4 rig to do it. I mean, this road actually gets really bad and turns into like a really rock crawling Jeep. Or you're going to need a rock crawling Jeep to get down it. But for the most part, I'm slightly modified. Running 35s on my truck. You know, I take prospecting and treasure hunting serious, so I had to make a vehicle that could do it. I do a lot of boondocking and exploring. And I have a 12,000 pound winch on the front if things do go sour. But I'm running some pretty aggressive tires. I shouldn't have any issues. The detector of choice, I picked this up last year. This is the Equinox, or MindLab Equinox 900. This thing is awesome. I've used a lot of detectors. This is definitely the best detector I've ever had. I got the little tiny 6-inch coil. Works super good getting in between the trash targets. The big coils just don't work out real good out in the woods. You just pick up too many signals. And of course I had to modify and 3D print some little features. I get a little side holster. Let's see if we can get this thing for my pinpointer. Just slides right in. And then I made a, actually, hold on a second, this is backwards. I made an extension to support this, because I found when I was laying it down in the woods, if it lifted up anywhere here, this thing, because it's top heavy, would fall over every time. Not a big deal, but I just added a little leg extension, so now it sits perfectly flat when I'm out, when I find a target and I start digging. So, little overkill, but if you get a printer and you can design stuff, why not? So I am actually trying to find the spots that this used to be a farmland. Believe it or not, most of New England was completely treeless. They wiped out almost all the trees, and it's just insane how much it's grown back. And one trick I use is LiDAR. LiDAR actually penetrates the trees and finds where the cellar holes are. It shows the rock stone walls. Any man-made foundation out of rock, it'll actually show up on the map. And I'll do a little section right here to show you how I use it and how to find it, or how to find the good spots.
Alright, here's just a quick tutorial on how to use LiDAR mapping. One I found online, if you just do Google LiDAR maps, you'll probably find something near your area. I found one, New Hampshire stone wall mapping. And then you would pick the stone wall mapper, the public tab, and it'll bring you over to, it'll open up a tab that brings you over to this page, which I already went to satellite because I don't want to show the roads, but up here you have multiple choices on how to, you get satellite, you get road maps, you got even some street views. There's a lot of options on how to view the map. But basically, this is the main road I came in on. I turned left onto this dirt road, and then right about here was the last house on the road. And then from then on, I put in four-wheel drive and worked my way all the way down this Class 6, which continues all the way through. And you can't see any of that. The only things that are showing up are some logging they did a few years ago. But this is where the magic comes in. Over on your left, you have, if you open this tab or whatever, you want to click on these layer list. And you'd see LiDAR northeast, LiDAR northwest. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Let's just click on one. And instantly the LiDAR is showing the area. All those trees are gone, and any man-made object now is showing up on the radar. And if you see little craters like this, that is usually an indication of a cellar hole, old house foundation. You get some small paddocks here, which are a little unusual, but you can see the bigger versions. Remember that over 100 years ago, this was a big farmstead, living off the land, probably full of cattle and horses and all kinds of animals. Very few trees, but since they've passed, now it's grown back in. But this light up mapping is just incredible. Again, satellite shows nothing. You wouldn't even know anything is out there. Other than that trail going through, you're not going to see anything. Turn this on. Now you can see all the features. They do have a tracking app on here. I don't remember where it was. But if you get this on your phone, it will actually show you as you're walking through the property where you are exactly on the property. I tend to just take a quick screenshot and just use that as a gauge. Like I could follow the stone wall all the way down to the farthest point of the property and then just detect all the way back up to where I parked. But really cool tool to use in metal detecting to try to find out where all the old foundations are. So let's get back to the video and let's see how I made out.
So right now, the one thing you want to do when you're driving down these roads, usually they marked their property in the roads with stone walls. So what I'm trying to find is a natural break in the wall. Like this almost looks like something that could be a break, because that break would represent a gate or something there. And I'm also seeing a double wall going here. I don't know if you can see that good. And then another wall going down. Let's see if I can get a little closer. So this was purposely made to section off a property, a section of the property. You see the square it made. So this, yeah, that definitely up there. I'm looking at that more up there now. Let me go up and check it out. This does look like an entrance. I'm not seeing a house foundation, but this could mean this was a paddock where they had livestock. And anytime they're out tending livestock, they can drop stuff. A little hilly though. Usually they pick better, flatter spots. But if you notice too, these trees aren't that old. You don't see any 100 or 200-year-old trees. So that's also another good sign that this was at one time a big field. So, I don't know if I might detect this on the way out. And there is a cellar hole I'm actually looking for where the house used to be, and that's what I really want to detect first. So I might hit this on the way out. So let me analyze a little more and try to figure out what I'm going to do. But should be a fun day. Perfect day in the woods right now. The bugs are a little bad, but I got bug spray and a bug net if I need it. But let's get digging. I want to find some treasures. Got a nice little hill climb. Still scanning the property for any breaks in the walls. This probably doesn't look steep on camera, but it's got some angles to it. Sounds like I got a greasy spring I need to put some grease in. Thought I would have seen the cellar hole by now, but I guess it's a little further out. So we'll keep going. just saw something to the right, so I'm going to find a spot to pull over. I don't want to block the trail. Bingo. I tell you, without LiDAR, I wouldn't have known this was here. Can you even see that there's a house foundation right there? Coming up the trail. I didn't see a break in the wall, but I've just gotten really good at picking these things out. I can just see the vegetation grows a certain way. But let's just check this thing out. This is what I was looking for. Or at least one of, I think there's 4 of them out here. Look at that. Classic New England rock foundation by the settlers from, you know, anywhere from 200 to 400 years ago. Isn't that cool? I mean, you can see the trees growing up here. Those are probably, that one's probably close to 80 years old. And they would have taken some time to get to that, you know, for this to grow back in and then a tree to grow. So, I mean, it depends what the targets I find, but I mean, I'm guessing this is it's probably at least a couple hundred years old. Kind of a small house. But it looked like it had a little break off here with another foundation. Really cool. Oh, wait, we got something over here. This is looking really promising. I am seeing brick. So that would date the house. What would that be? Late 1800s into the 1900s? Oh, here's the well. This is one thing you definitely got to watch out for. You don't want to fall in that. That's actually pretty deep. I don't have anything. Yeah, I'll show you. That's deep. Imagine digging that with a shovel. Having to go 100 feet down or whatever the hell they went. But got a nice little well. Some structure here. Maybe there's a little side house, or could have been a tool shed. But this looks great. It's hard to see, but there's a lot of different random stone walls going different directions. This is what I was looking for on the map. So I need to get the detector out and try to find some good stuff. I'm getting excited now. You know, the funny thing is, I've off-roaded this trail. I used to run an off-road club. I've been down this trail 100 times. Never knew there was a foundation right here. Until I saw it on the map, and I'm like, oh wow. Had to check it out, and sure enough. So let's, enough jibber-jabbering, and let's try to find some, hopefully some old silver coins is always the target. Gold's pretty rare, but any coin right now would be pretty cool. That way I can date the structure. All right, I'm gonna start digging. All right, let's turn this thing on. Kind of cool when I was walking out. Just a single flower all by itself. I bet you know, 100, 200 years ago, whenever this place was, probably had a nice little flower garden, and it's probably really nice. It's kind of sad to see it all grown in and forgotten, but power this thing up. First thing we do is go to the channel. This auto detects the best channel to run in the area so you don't have any interference. It's like a 7 or 8, it's pretty good. Alright, I'll leave that. I got it in park mode. I did just put a dime down. See it right there. And it easily should pick that up. Let me get this out. Was it that mode? And dimes on this thing show up as a solid 80 all the time. I don't expect to find any dimes out here, but you never know. I could find an old silver one. But let me start detecting and see what I find. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of nails and stuff, but that's the beauty of this little 6-inch coil. It'll weed in between that. And I should have been. A faint target right there. Alright, I gotta get detecting. Enough filming. I'll turn you back on when I find something cool. Got my first target. It's kind of bouncing all over the place, so I don't know if it's surrounded by something. But that's anywhere from 80 to 92. Which is usually, it can be tin too. Like a tin roof. But it gets unstable this way, so that's usually not a good sign, but But it keeps repeating, so let's see what it is. Forgot my good shovel, but this will work. Breaking through these roots really suck. A lot of sand. Oh, it looks like a... That's not promising. I don't know if you can see that. It's a Sawzall blade. I don't know if that's just random. I think that's a Sawzall blade, unless it's a regular blade that just broke, but definitely a blade. Let's see what the pinpointer shows. The only problem with the pinpointer, it doesn't discriminate against all targets. Definitely getting a target there. Look to the side. I'm seeing a lot of sand, which is, I guess this is what they use for foundations. Let me dig down a little more, because this is probably gonna take a little while. Oh, wait. I thought I was getting 2 targets. I'm only getting 1. Yeah, there was 2 targets. Some pottery. Where are ya? Whatever it is small. Which is not good. I want to see something big and round. Alright, let me see if I can find out what this is. Yeah, it's going to take a little while to... Where are ya? Ah, square nail. That's actually a good sign. The square nail is going to date it. But there's another target in the hole. Let me see what it is. Just more bits of metal. Unfortunately, when it gets, or it starts rusting out in the ground, it becomes like mineralized. So it can give a higher target number than it should be, but just a bunch of square nails. So let me fill this in and move on to the next spot, or the next target. I'm still feeling good about this location. Just hit a big target. Usually the big targets aren't worth digging up because it's usually bigger items like trash and stuff. But this one I ended up doing because it was getting a higher target number. And it's actually pretty cool. I'm finding a lot of bricks. But I believe this is a lid to like one of those fire pots. You know, for the fireplace pots where you cook stews and stuff like that. It's actually in pretty decent shape. Unfortunately, as like I mentioned, as this stuff rusts, it starts to get a different tone to it. Like if this was just out in the open, it'd show iron right away on the detector, but because it gets in the dirt, it actually starts showing more like a coin. But because of the size, I knew it wasn't a coin, but I was just curious and had to dig it up. I'm still trying to find things to date this foundation. Just because, you know, this stone wall could have been a couple hundred years old, and a lot of times these houses burnt down, and then later generations rebuilt on top of them. So you can't always go by a foundation or the random stuff you find in the area. You gotta dig, and I'm really looking for some older coins or something to really date this thing. Haven't found them yet, but I'm not giving up. And one really interesting thing about this location is there's no trash. There's no beer cans. Unfortunately, when we got these Class 6 roads, ATVs ride them, dirt bikers, off-roaders, and they're drinking and just throwing all kinds of garbage out over the decades. But because this one's hidden, I have yet to find one little beer can in any modern trash. So that makes detecting so much easier. But kind of a cool find, a little bit of history. Kind of, I mean, I'll take it home, but it's not really any valuable. But I'm tempted. I'm getting another single down here. The whole pot might be down there. I don't know if it's worth digging up, but we'll see. Once I find something else cool, I'll turn you back on. Just getting a target. Figured I'd bring you along for the dig to see what it is. It's probably 10 because it's kind of bouncing around. But it's shallow and I'm getting a couple different tones. But this thing is screaming. So I'm guessing it's a piece of 10, but let's see. If we can set you up. We'll do a dig together. As you can see right there. Let's see what it is. I'm sure the pinpointer is going to go crazy on this. Yeah, this is big. It's probably like a 10 pail or something. You should stop digging. There's a root. I hear the metal. And this thing is huge, and what sucks is it's under the root. It's probably not what I'm looking for, but I'm just curious now. I don't have my good shovel that breaks through the roots. I forgot it. Ooh, is that it? Yeah, it looks like a pail. I don't know if I'll be able to get that out. Yeah, it looks like a big, like a water pail. Without breaking that root, it's not worth getting out. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it is. I should have brought my gloves. What's left of an old tin pail? Oh well, I thought it was something good. Off to the next spot. Well, so far no luck. A lot of tin pails, tin strapping, a lot of square nails. So nothing exciting. I did find what looks to be an old fireplace or wood stove or whatever for cooking, which makes sense with the pot lid and all that. I'll be digging, covering these holes up after, just showing where I'm digging. Another part of the wood stove. It's got some fancy features on the outside. And I don't know what this is. It was given a good target. Kind of round. It's got, I can't make out any features on the bottom of that, but there's something stamped on there. Covered in ants. But yeah. Pretty much all the targets in one area. I mean, this is a big area. I gotta get way out there. Today's mission was more of scouting. I wanted to find where this place was from the maps, and then come out here with a bunch of other friends with their detectors so we can really cover it. I mean, this is probably 50 acres of farmland they had, and then there's another big farm which I'm going to go try up further, which looked even bigger. So pretty cool. Find a little bit of history. I was hoping to find something a little more exciting, or at least help date this place. I mean, the square nails are a good sign that it's got some age to it. But I'm also finding brick and glass, so this could have been multiple structures over the centuries. But let me pack up and continue on down the road. It's going to get a little worse with the four-wheel drive, but I should be able to make it to the next spot. And I'll turn you back on when I find the next cellar hole. I was about to leave to move further down to find that bigger spot, and then I actually took a snapshot of the LiDAR map of this area in case I didn't have good cell service. And I must have missed the smaller area, but this is the bigger one. And I noticed about, I don't know, almost 1,000 feet into the woods on the opposite side of the foundation, there was a weird structure, a square structure all by itself, and it just looked out of place. And I didn't see any trails here. I had to actually break some trails through the woods to get to this spot. And check this out. It's an old cemetery. Now I can date this place. Obviously, I'm not going to detect in here. That's illegal in New Hampshire. I'm sure that's illegal in most states. But you can detect around the cemetery. You can't detect in it. But we got some, these must have been the people that lived at this address. Just weird. There's usually some type of access road, but not this one. 1893. Colby. A little faded. I think that says 1848. This one's... Where's the date on that? I'm not really seeing that one. I thought it was this, but that's... If it is, it's 1818. Yeah, maybe it is. $1859, so... I was guessing that structure was about 150 years old, or up to 200, and this is actually confirming that. I always hate seeing the little gravestones. You don't know if those were kids that passed, but whatever, they didn't have enough money to get a fancy tomb. Yeah, it looks like Colby. Whoever owned this property was the Colbys. November 21st, 1904. So got some history. That's pretty cool. I love that LiDAR map. I would have never known this was here. I'll have to insert an image to show where I'm actually standing. Well, this is cool. This one's Wilkins. Clarissa Wilkins. So maybe that was a wife. Yeah, wife of... Some of these are kind of tough to read. It'd be nice if I had some paper and you can do that, the rubbering on it to see what it is. And then we just got ones with just initials. CWA. So I don't know. Oh, we got one over here I didn't see. But they had plans to fill this cemetery lot. Somebody's been out here though. There's been some trees trimmed. You can see where the tombstone was placed. But I don't know if it fell out or what the issue is. There's a real old one. It almost looks like it has a scribing on it, but missing. You got a great big tree. It's been here probably for close to when this cemetery was created. Another big one. Pretty cool. Bit of history. I got the detector down here. I forgot to grab the shovel because I wanted to see what this was like. So hopefully whatever target I find on the outer rim, because I'm seeing this looks like a paddock, and there's a nice little break in the wall where there would have been fencing. Maybe this was kept with the horses. I mean, as lush and thick as this is, 100 years ago this was all farmland. This would have been wide open, easy access. It's amazing what you find in the woods though. Just a lot of history, unfortunately, covered up. That's a cool find. So since I'm at the spot I thought was further up, I'm not going to move. I'm going to continue detecting here and try to find that where they came through. This is kind of a weird entryway. I mean, I got a hinge and everything here, but not much room to get through. I don't know if there's another... Weird. But there almost looks like a trail here, so maybe this was like a horse trail or something to get out here. But I'd like to detect the entryway all the way back out to the road. Because if they're riding a horse or bouncing around on something, that's where they're going to drop something. But yeah, cool piece of history. I tell you, I just love being in the woods. This is so much fun. Even though I'm not finding anything, I'm having a blast. This area is crazy thick. It looked like a logging crew went through here maybe back in the 70s or 80s. I'm finding old pull tab beer cans, which I'm assuming, I think those stopped in the early 80s. I could be wrong, but definitely you know, old gas cans or whatever. It was a while since I've been through here, but because of that, I mean, this is just brutal to detect. I just tried breaking through in through here. That cemetery is off probably almost 50 yards, 60 yards that way. So I did a little, detecting where I could come back through, and I'm not really getting any signals. Again, this is more of a scouting mission. So I think I am gonna still drive up further in the trail. I believe there's another one, or I gotta hit the one I missed on the way out. But just wanted to show you how thick this is. This is crazy. You can see the old stumps are cut, still rotting away. But it's awesome out here. I mean, I am miles from the nearest house. Other than an occasional four-wheeler or dirt bike going by, I'm the only one in the woods right now. I'm just listening to the birds chirp. I was hearing a sound like a baby bobcat cub or bear cub. That had me a little nervous, but it seems to stop. Because one thing New Hampshire does have a lot of is bears and bobcats. They've really made a huge comeback. So you always got to watch your back. Not that they attack people, but don't want to surprise one. But again, great day in the woods. So I think I'm going to go a little further up and check for the next spot. But I will definitely be coming back to this area and hit it really hard. Spend a full day here. But well worth the effort coming out today. I'm glad I did. I'm driving further up the trail. It's been like 10 years since I've been down this trail. I forgot how rough and narrow it is. I don't know if that shows on the camera, but that's a rock that can do some damage. So hopefully I can do this without hitting the tree. Ooh. Brakes. Here we go. Yeah, this camera's not getting the whole... My brakes are wet. I just went through a puddle. Yeah, get off the show. See if you can see that. Yeah, the camera makes this look so small. Don't want to hit that rock. The things we do. The things we do for treasures. Alright, let me keep going. There's one more spot I want to check. We got another big rock up coming up. It's nice and pointy too, which is never a good thing. Oh, there's one hit. Good thing I got skids. Wow. Nice and slow. I don't want to come slamming down hard on a rock. Ooh. There we go. This is definitely not a Subaru trail anymore. There's a hit. Hopefully that's the worst of it. I can't remember, it's been such a long time. Deep puddle coming up, and then I think I'm off in the clear. Not too deep. Well, it doesn't look too bad. I'll continue on to the next spot. Well, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but I saw this spot. I had to check it. It's a 20 by, I don't know, maybe 60 paddock right on the side of the road, or the trail, or whatever you want to call it. This had to be a holding pen for horses or maybe cattle or something when they first got them. But definitely not a house foundation or anything. It's just a, you can kind of see it. It's just a square paddock. So I had to detect it and didn't get anything in there. I was hoping to at least find like a horseshoe, or I find a lot of ox shoes out in these woods too, or just metal detecting in general. But I think that's gonna do it. Again, this was something different. Let me know if you like it, and because there'll be a part 2 when I come back out here. This was more of a scouting. It's been a while since I've been detecting. Actually, it's pretty much, I think this is the first time this year since I've broken the detector out. The thing was awesome. Just didn't find any coins or anything. I mean, there's definitely some targets that I should have dug, but I was trying to just hit the perfect picture, the tones. Just because of time-wise, I couldn't spend all day out here. But yeah, just another day, another adventure, trying something different. Just another reason for me to get in the woods and enjoy nature. I don't know if you can hear this, but I mean, it's just peaceful. All you hear is the birds. It's just unbelievable out here. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This is just beautiful. Like I said before, it's a little sad seeing history cover it up, but it's definitely very scenic. So until next time, get out there, prospect, detect, just do some type of hobby to get you out in nature. It's well worth it. There's so much stress in the world today. This is the best ways to get rid of it. I'll be stressed out in a few more days, so I'll want to get back out, and I have no problem with that. But until next time, enjoy.